Corinne, hi!
Hi, Laura. It's so good to see you. I'm so happy to see you.
It's so good to see you again. You look
Yeah.
amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I love your room. Is this where you practice QHHT?
Yes, it is. It is. It's beautiful.
That
It's
is a
beautiful.
really good
Yeah, yeah,
space.
yeah. We love it here. Yeah.
So for everybody who's watching this video, do you want to give
Hmm.
us your full name,
Right.
exactly where you're based in the world, and
Okay.
also a little bit about yourself?
Right. So my name is Corinne Puget. Puget. I'm French. I live in Paris. And this is where I do my sessions. I've done sessions in the States and in England also. And I've lived 2 years in the States in New York and Connecticut. This is how I practice English. And a little bit about myself. It's difficult to say a little bit about myself because if it's okay with you, I'm going to tell you the whole story, how I ended up doing QHHT, because it's all related. Who am I and how it happened. When I was 17, I got assaulted, but through that, I had an out-of-body experience, which was the most beautiful thing that happened to me. And so I saw the light, and I went through the tunnel and I saw the light and I got all the love, and I experienced the light, the love, and that we're all bonded on the planet, that we're all together. And it was just magical. It was just beautiful. And then when I came back in my body, that was a long time ago. There was no internet. I didn't know any book about that. So for many years, I thought maybe something was wrong with me. Like I did not really relate to the other human being, the way they were all in competition, trying to be the best and trying to make more money and being better than the guy next door. And I didn't get that. So anyway, after all my life, at one point I went to therapy. I did 12 years in therapy, which was great, which was amazing, because at the beginning I was just like, when my shrink was talking to me, I had no idea what she was talking about. After 12 years, we were like together working on my case, like I could understand how it worked. But still, that was not enough. During all that time, also, I have to say that I started my life work-wise as a software engineer, which was, I guess I was, as a little girl, I wanted to, the world was telling me I had to be left brain. This is the cool thing to do. So I'm like, okay, this is what you guys want me to do. I'll do that. I'm going to be left brain. I'm a software engineer. I went to the States. I'm a math teacher at the University of Connecticut. Okay, I do the thing. Then I start working in France and I'm like, do I really love that left brain thing? I don't think so. So now everybody have done it. Thank you very much. Okay, everybody know I'm good at that. I just don't like it. So I went into being an actress, and I did that for many years. And I worked with people with their emotion, as a director, as a playwright. I was already healing people. As a director, and even on stage, what you do with the audience, you heal them. You put them in under hypnosis. At night, the light goes down. You talk with a different voice. You tell them a story. It's already hypnosis, and you heal the heart of the people. This is what you do on stage. This is what you do. So I did this for many years, and I loved it, and I had great experience. But still, I had this thing missing, that I really want to help the planet, help the people, be connected with everybody. And then a friend of mine who's a bit of a psychic one day said, you should read this book, The 3 Waves of Volunteer, by this woman, Dolores Cannon. And I'm like, yeah, okay, all right, I trust you. So I read the book, and the minute I read the book, this is really fascinating because, I've read many books in my life. But I read this book and I was like, okay, I want to meet these people right this minute. I want to meet these people right this minute. I was in France. The next session of teaching QHHT was happening in Florida. I bought my plane ticket. I booked myself to the session. I went there. And I started practicing QHHT, which now, I mean, I still have my artist career going on, but really I'm doing so many sessions, and it's just so fulfilling that I love it so much. I love it so much. Doing QHHT is just amazing.
It's like the missing piece, isn't it? It's like that feeling that you've always had all your life, where you're different, you don't fit in, you can't understand how people aren't more connected to each other, aren't more caring towards each other. Right. And then all of a sudden you find Dolores and it all makes sense, all of it.
And it makes sense because I'm saying QHHT is like the wheel to the suitcase. You know, suitcase is very heavy to carry. Just you add a little wheel and then kids can drag them, you know. QHHT for me, it's the same thing in the sense that it's very simple. It's just me helping you talk to yourself, you talking to your higher self. You have all the solution inside of you, and no one better than yourself, your higher self, can heal you. And I'm just facilitating this connection between you and your subconscious and your higher self. And then it's very easy and it's very magical because everybody gets to talk to the real part of themselves. So no one else better than themselves can do it. Like sometimes during the interview, when clients come to me and we talk a long time and we discuss, which I love that part. And sometimes I tell them, well, maybe I think, oh, do you realize you talked to your mom like this and then it happened this and that? But I tell them, you know what, this is my feeling, but we'll see during the session. And sometimes during the session, I realize I was right. Sometimes during the session, I realize this had nothing to do with it because the person, they don't always say everything that's in their mind because for so many years they repressed it, that even if they're genuine and they come with their heart and they're willing to come for the session, they don't say the real part because, like, for example, I had a woman, she came to me and she said her mother had passed when she was quite young. And almost the first thing she said, oh, you know what? I'm not afraid of death because, you know, my mom passed, so I'm not afraid of death. Oh, okay, all right. And then she goes under the very first answer she gets when we go to the subconscious, which is, why do this person do this and that? Oh, because she's afraid of death. She has this fear of death. And I was laughing so much. And then she was laughing. She was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. All these years, I thought I had no fear of death whatsoever. And yeah, of course, it makes sense. And who isn't? Yeah, of course, I'm afraid of that. So then it explains this and that. And she was relieved, you know. And I find this beautiful. I found this really amazing.
It is just so incredible to see it all unfold. And the fact that the subconscious knows the client because they are part of them better than even they know themselves, and they give them exactly what they need to heal them. Exactly. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So
and,
what go on, sorry.
I had another session like this. It was really amazing. This lady, you know, most of the time when you go to the higher self, to the subconscious, and you ask the subconscious, can you heal that person? Can you help that person? Why is that person having such and such situation? The subconscious is always answering, yes, of course we can help. She has to understand this. She has to learn a lesson. He or she has to learn a lesson. She has to do that. He has to do that. This, okay. This subconscious, I say, so can you help this person? No. I was like, oh my God, this is the first time it happened to me. So I'm like, okay, why not? And is there anything you can do then? The subconscious said, well, this person is very stubborn, and she has to control everything. That's the only way she will succeed in changing, in shifting. We cannot make her shift because she will resist. So I said, so what can you do then? They said, well, we're building this lock, and now we're giving her the key to the lock. It's up to her to enter the key inside the lock and to open the lock to her heart. We're not doing it, she's in charge. And because she likes challenges, we're just telling her that we're waiting for her to do that, and we hope she will succeed with much love and much support, but she's the one who's going to do it. And then when she got out of trance, she said, my subconscious knows me very well. Because she said, yes, I have to control everything and I love challenges. So now that I know I have the key and I have to open my heart, I will do it. And day after, she got healed in her body, and then she was supposed to do things in a short period of time. She was supposed to shoot a video for her work and things that she was always postponing everything. She was not doing things in the right time. She did it right away. The day after she called me, she said, that's it. I did it. I'm in charge. I'm doing it. And I was like, wow, that's fascinating.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So out of all of the sessions that you've done so far, what's been your favorite one?
They're all my favorite ones because every time it's just beautiful. I can tell you examples. One lady, she wanted to quit smoking. So I asked her as a subconscious, why does she smoke? And they said she smokes because she's ashamed of the choices she made in her life. And so I said, why is she ashamed of the choices she made in her life? And then we realized that because she went through child abuse, she had this false belief about herself. So she did wrong things to herself as an adult, as a grown-up. And so we cured that, we cleaned that. And, you can ask, when is this going to be cured? Because when you heal someone, you ask the subconscious and how long will it take? It can be done right away on the spot. For some people, they say, oh, it's going to be done in a week, in a month, in a year. It depends on people. So I ran into her the other day, and she said, you know what? I'm changing all the choices that I made in my life. Now I'm making the right choices. I'm changing who I am, how I present myself to the world. She was a back singer, and she said, really, I'm a lead singer. That's who I am. I am a lead singer. For those years, I'm in the back, which is okay. I mean, she says, I'm changing all the choices and I'm being myself. And she says, once I finish that, I know I'll quit. Smoking is not even an issue. And smoking was not, for her, it was not the issue. Smoking was that she had to realize that she had to stand up for who she is, and she has to forgive herself for what she'd done to herself after being abused. I like when I talk to the subconscious, it's like I'm meeting an old friend, the same old friend, session after session after session. And it's like I'm having the same conversation. It's like I'm talking to the same person. It's amazing because everybody, when they do past life, when they go into past lives, no one is the same. Everybody has different either past lives or go in space or stay in their current life. No one is the same. But as soon as I talk to the subconscious, everybody talks the exact same way. And the other day, the subconscious said to me, you're asking a lot of questions today. And I'm like, am I talking to the same SC over and over people? Then I had, of course, people healed, like what I call magically, like this person had sun reaction, like allergy to the sun. Like every summer she's in pain, she has to go in the shade, and her skin burns, and she has many reactions on her skin. This summer she said, I was in the sun, perfectly okay, no reaction whatsoever. I had people also with restless legs, you know, the legs doing like this, that no one really can cure them. This is gone in one session. You do it, you find the answer, it is gone. It's no more. I had also a lady who, she had done anorexia when she was quite young. And then she actually had cancer of the uterus. So when she came to me, her uterus was removed already. And she came really because she wanted to know whether she could have a surrogate mother to have a kid, because she had frozen oocytes. And during the session, we agreed that we would ask the subconscious why she had those diseases, anorexia and the cancer of the uterus. And the answer was that in her family, and she loves them very much, they repress emotion, expressing emotion. She cannot express any emotion in front of her parents, and this is how she behaves in life. And she's a very feminine woman. And during the session, she realized that she did anorexia because she didn't want to be a woman, because she was afraid it was going to kill her family, because she was too much of a woman for them. And then she said that she had the cancer because repressing her emotion made her uterus exploded. And so after the session, she realized that if she would keep on repressing her emotions like this, she could kill herself. She could go to the point where she would repress herself from being on this planet, which means die. And so during the session, I asked and I said, is it okay? Why does she want to repress her emotion? Oh, because she's afraid that it's going to hurt her dad if she shows too much emotion. And I said, but if she dies, is it going to hurt her dad? Oh, yes, much more, way much more. Is it going to help her dad if she stays alive and shows her emotion? Oh, yeah, he can deal with that. This is going to be good for him. Yes, was there? Oh, yeah, he needs that. It's going to be good for him to have his daughter alive with full of emotion. He needs that. So after that, that changed her life. And
yeah,
woman, I don't know what would have happened if she hadn't done that session, because she was slowly making herself disappear from this planet to falsely please her dad, because of course her dad wants her alive and full of life, and he'll deal with this emotion issue for sure.
and that's another reason why QHHT is just life-changing, because it can actually help with anything. Yes. So, you know, any issue, it doesn't have to be physical, it can be emotional, spiritual. It can deal with anything that exactly. we have to deal with on the earth plane. It's yes. Transformative. It's absolutely incredible. I think everybody in the world should have at least one session.
Oh, definitely. It's such a gift. I mean, it's such a gift. Oh, like I had this other session that was so funny. This lady came and she's like, I'm trying hard to make a lot of money and it never works and I'm not making any money. So she goes under, we go to the subconscious, and so I asked the higher self, how come she's not making any money, enough money? And you know, the higher self, it's the light, it's the love, it's above what we're doing here on this planet. So the higher self said, well, you know, we're just passing through, so what's the point of making money? You know, like, they didn't understand the question, you know, like, we don't care, it's just love and light, and what's the story with the money? So I said, yeah, I understand, we're just passing through, but you know, she has 2 kids, she has to pay her rent, she lives on the planet, on Earth, and she's incarnated in the body, and she needs money to survive in this society, so could you help her make more money? So really, I can see that the eyes are closed of the clients, but I can see inside the eyes rolling, you know, so the subconscious is like, oh, okay, well, okay, like, okay, well, you need money on this planet. Oh, okay, I'll help her get money. So I'm like, are you going to help her make money? Yeah, okay, all right, okay. And I find this so funny. And then this other guy too came to me. He's in his 40s and he says, everything I do in my life is difficult. Every choice I make is difficult. It's always a headache, whatever job, relationship, health, everything is a headache in my life. I'm tired, I'm exhausted. Please help me, I'm exhausted. So I'm like, okay, so he goes under, we go to the SC. So I said, why is it always so difficult in his life? So the SC answers, well, because he always chooses the most difficult path. So of course it's going to be difficult. So I'm like, oh, okay. Why does he choose the most difficult path? Oh, for some belief, Christian belief that you have to suffer to be happy. So I said, okay, is it true that we have to suffer to be happy? And the SC is like, no, not at all. So I'm like, from now on, can you help him make the easiest choice every time he has a choice, make the nicest choice? Yes, of course, thank you for asking. They're like, we've been waiting for that for so long, but he doesn't listen. Sometimes they say that towards the subconscious. He doesn't listen. We keep telling him we love him. Every day we tell him we love him. He doesn't listen. So I'm like, can you help him find a way to listen? Yeah, of course we'll do that. And it's always, yeah, fantastic how, yeah, sometimes the higher self is kind of trying to, we love you, just listen to us, we love you, life is easy, life is easy and full of love, just listen to us. Yeah.
And we just, because we're in this world, we're in the 3D realm, and we've got money to earn, to pay bills and mouths to feed, and because that's such a sense of urgency, because it's about our basic survival, we get so focused on that.
Yeah, and also because we're on a society that's left-brained, that is very competitive. Like what you're doing with these videos, for example, is just magical. It shows that us, instead of having this feeling of competition, who's going to be the best QHHT practitioner, you or me or this one, we work together.
Exactly.
And together we are so strong. We are
correct.
So strong. We are full of love. We're full of energy. We feel supported, and it works. And this is finally, I'm not saying that it's new, that no one did it before, because I think some tribes have been doing it for a long time. We just didn't pay attention. And now we're like, oh, okay, maybe working together as a community is much more powerful than being alone, me, myself, and I, and no one else. Yeah.
That's right. And I think for a lot of us that we ended up getting into QHHT because we were so used to being on our own, because
Yes.
we've always felt different. We've always felt, like we didn't quite fit in. We find QHHT, and then it's so easy to just carry on in our little bubble, helping people, but thinking, I've always been on my own, so I'm just going to carry on doing it on my own. But now is the time for all of us to link together, because we are stronger together. And we're all off doing our own little things, which is brilliant. But all of us have people that come to us and say, can you do me a session? No, I can't, because I'm not in that country, but I know this amazing practitioner who is superb, and they will be able to help you. And by showing that we're all so connected and supportive of each other, it's so helpful to everybody out there. Because together we are stronger.
Yes,
definitely.
And I can tell the clients I get are so ready for that. They're so fed up with this world, with you see people extremely well educated who've worked many great positions, and they're just like, they don't get what's the point. And they're so ready, for being one heart. Like for me, we're like different cells of a one body. It's like we're different cells of one body.
Yeah, that's right.
If the body is healthy, it's good for everybody. If the body is sick or intoxicated, it's bad for everybody. We're just different cells of one body were just so connected to one another.
That's right.
Yeah.
Perfectly right.
Yeah.
So have you ever had any people go to different planets in your sessions?
Yes, I have. And I have to say, I come from a family with no religious, mystic, no education like this whatsoever. Like, I had never heard of ETs before, or I didn't know no one who was talking about that here where I live. I mean, this is just, and then I do this session. I mean, I read about it and stuff, but I had never met someone. And so then I had this first client who's like, oh, I'm in outer space. They see planets, they see colors, they see, it's like pink, purple, gas, energies, waves. And then this one is like, oh yeah, I'm going down. He's telling me, I'm going down to the planet. I'm going down to Earth. I'm going down to Earth. Oh, so I'm like, describe your body. It's like, oh, I'm very tall and young and tall and green, and I have this mouth. And he was doing the mouth. He's like, I have this mouth. And then he's like, here, okay, I arrived on the Earth planet. No one sees that I'm an ET. They don't see I'm an ET. I'm like, oh my God, okay. And then he's like, oh, I'm floating above. So he's like, the client has his body, himself on the planet now. And he has this ET alien being who's watching above him. And he's describing the room from the roof, from the ceiling. He's describing, I said, oh, I see him, the client, he's discussing with this lady and they're talking about this and that. And yeah, I'm protecting him the whole time. I was like, oh, okay, all right. And then I had, many people watching Earth and having such a good time. Like, for them, everything is fun and easy and loving. And they're like, oh, we're watching all the choices that you guys make. And I said, so you have many things to teach us. I'm like, yeah, we have many things to teach you. And I said, do we teach you anything? Oh, they're like, oh yes, you teach us many things because you make choices that we would never think. Like, you human beings, you're amazing to watch because you do things that we would never think anyone could do. Things like that. You make choices. Oh, okay, you kill one another. Oh, okay, you poison your water. Oh, wow, that's fascinating. But there was no judgment. There was no judgment. There was no fear. There was just like an experience. Like, we're kids. You know how kids, they paint the walls and they will destroy things, but they make toys. And as adults, sometimes we look at kids and we're like, oh my God, this imagination they have, you know? Don't they know that a pen is supposed to write on a piece of paper? It's not supposed to write on the walls. So for them, these alien, the light beings, they were watching us like we're kids and we're like clueless and we do these things. They were amazed to see all this imagination we have. Yeah, so I had
that is incredible. That's the best way of describing it I've ever heard. That, like, ETs must be up there going, oh, have you seen what they're doing now? Look what they're doing today. Honestly.
That's exactly it. And she was laughing so much. And then she said, every time someone is into aligned, it's like a light turning on like this on the planet. And it's like a net connecting everyone. So they say the more you align and you open your heart and the more lights there are on the planet, and the net is bigger and bigger and the energy is going faster and faster, and we can send you information, love, energy through this net. But you have to connect one another so that the net is powerful, so we can send love, energy, information. But they say, but it's up to you if you don't want to. It was so funny because they were so nice. Like, it's your choice. You see, if you want to live in the dark, it's okay. If you want to turn on the light, it's fine. You choose. It's okay for us. It's okay. You choose whatever you want. But each time you turn on a light of a human being, for us, we can send information and love.
That is so beautiful. And I can just see in my mind's eye the world and all of us just turning our lights on. And eventually the net gets bigger and bigger and bigger until boom, then that's it.
Exactly.
It just transforms. It transforms
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
Wow, that's incredible. So in your sessions, do you ever get anybody talking about the shift in consciousness on the planet?
Well, I had this person who obviously was talking about the shift in consciousness. I wouldn't say they all talk about shift in consciousness in a way. They all talk about loving oneself. Like most of the time, I ask the clients when they have their list of questions, I say, would you like to ask the question, how can I help the planet? Because I realize people don't really write it down, but they think of it. Most of them think of it.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, yeah. Almost everyone who asks, when I ask the question to the subconscious, how can this person help the planet? The answer is by loving herself or himself. Wow. By loving oneself, this is how you help the planet. And every time I cry during the session, it is so beautiful. So I guess this is the shift in consciousness that I hear, you know, like love oneself, love yourself, just deeply respect and love yourself and honor yourself, and then you will save the planet. This is how you can save the planet.
Do you know, I am totally going to add that question to mine as well, because that is brilliant. That is brilliant.
Yes.
Absolutely brilliant.
Some people say, but very in a nice way, they're like, no. And it's funny because actually they give the right answer. They say, no, I'm going to save myself first, and then I'll take care of the planet. But really, they're doing it right there. Yes, by saying that, they're doing it right there. So some people will say, no, I'm not interested in that question. I want to save myself. And I'm like, okay, you got it, because this is the exact answer. So you don't even have to ask the question. Most of the people, they're like, yeah, sure, I want to ask that question. Yeah.
So what is your favorite thing about quantum healing?
That as a practitioner, I do not control, like as a client, I am not controlled by anyone else but myself. You know, that we let them guide the session. We're just facilitating, we're letting them on their path where they have to go at their pace, what they have to learn today. Maybe what I'm ready to learn today is not the thing I'm going to be ready to learn tomorrow, and today I need to learn this. Everyone can have a session. Everyone. It's easy, it's simple, it's magical, it's effortless, it's painless, it's joyful. People, when after the session, the faces of the people after the session, it's better than going to a facial or whatever. Like they look so young, and I love their faces when it's over. Oh God, it's amazing. Yeah, I love it. It's going to change the world. Yeah,
it really is.
For sure.
And it's wonderful to be a part of it.
Oh, yeah.
I feel so grateful.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes, because I've realized during the session that most of the people have gone through quite difficult childhoods. Now that I listen to the interviews, I'm like, okay, we're survivors. I mean, we're survivors, and this is like, wow, cherry on the cake. You know, like you transform in one session. You can transform so much in your life, so much.
So, Corinne, if people want to book a session with you,
how
do they find you?
Well, they find me. First of all, I realize they find me. I don't know how they find me, but they do find me. But if on this video, I can tell you can find me on QHHTofficial.com. So my name is Puget, Puget. And then you call me or you send me an email and we book a session. We can talk on the phone first, and I can explain how it goes. And the session lasts as long as you need it to last, which is something I love as well. We're here for the client. They're like, it's their time. Yes.
That's absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for your time today. It's been so lovely to connect with you again. Just looking at you makes me feel happy, because when I talk to you, I see the light that is within you. You hold so much light. Just talking to you makes me feel happy as well. So thank you, because I'm going to have a great day now. Thank you, my love. I'll speak to you again soon. Take care. Bye.
Bye. Bye.